You wrapped the last episode. What do you have to lose?
What's that?
You already wrapped the last episode. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, well, we didn't quite wrap it. We still have a month to shoot in Prague. We've got pieces of all those episodes to still
So you worked that trip to Prague.
Do you like where your journey ends up? I mean, you've been through a lot.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. I think it's and I think the audience will be really satisfied with it too. They were really able to bring the whole story full circle, which is true of the original short film La Jetée. The whole thing is circular. The Terry Gilliam film 12 Monkeys. The whole thing is circular, and really it's a testament to their abilities that the writers were able to bring a story that ended up being 5 seasons long and just had this unbelievably epic scope, to be able to bring all that full circle and tie it up quite neatly. My hat's off to them.
Yeah.
Did you have any input into how this season was going to end, or at least how your character arc was going to end?
I really didn't. My input comes after I read the scripts, and I read the scripts, and then I have a discussion with Terry, any ideas I have or questions I have, and we get into it. But in terms of steering, where the story as a whole is going, I didn't have any interest in doing that. I really wanted to see where it was going to end up. I trust Terry, I trust the writers, and rightly so. I think they did a great job.
Now, over the 4 years, how is...
Hey man, how you doing? Good to see you, brother.
He said that. He goes, he's from my hometown.
Yeah.
So, how has playing Cole changed for you over those 4 years?
I've really come to know him very well, and it's interesting to try to pin down exactly who he is. He starts off as this a child of the apocalypse, from this dead world, and really doesn't have very much to live for. And then as the story progresses, you get to see him sort of awaken and become alive to the world and experience all these things that we take for granted, like music and food and love and friendship. So it's for me, it's been really rewarding to sort of go on that journey with him and try to figure out what that does to a person. How does that change a person? How does that change their bearing? How does that change their affect? So those have been sort of the lessons for me, I think.
What's your favorite thing about him?
My favorite thing about him?
Yes, as a person.
I guess I would just say his decency. He at the end of the day, he's always going to do the right thing, and sometimes to his detriment. He really he's always been willing to sacrifice himself for others and for the greater good. But it is I think that is something that I really admire about him. That he is always ready to do something for the greater good.
Is there any place that you haven't traveled to that you wish Cole was able to?
A time period?
Yeah.
We've gotten to go so many places. This season 4, we get to go to the Middle Ages. We get to go to where else are we going? We get to go to the American frontier. Just all sorts of places that I wanted to explore. I'd love to see him in like the Roaring 20s, and with like a Tommy gun and a violin case, and be a gangster. I think that would be fun. We never quite did that. We came close to it, but we never quite did it.
In that area.
Yeah.
And what lessons or skills did you learn playing this role that you could use going forward?
What skills?
And lessons did you learn?
It's tough to say. I mean, the one thing I would say I learned on this show is to be flexible. We had so much to do and so little time to do it. Terry and the writers, they packed so much story into every episode, and we were always just absolutely running at full steam. And often the latest rewrite would have been, they would have written it an hour earlier, and we'd come in and we get it up on its feet, and it wouldn't be working. And so Terry would say, all right, stop everything. Let's figure out how we can make this work. What can we do? And then everyone would throw in their input, and we'd improvise, and we'd mess around, and we'd play with the blocking, and somehow we would make it work. And with this job, more than any other one I've had prior, that has been the case. So I've been drilled day after day after day after day in being flexible and being able to think on your feet.
Was this the first project where you were actually the lead, where everything was on your shoulders? And
no, I've played the lead before, just never for this length of time.
Yeah, that's right.
And never for something, never for a story quite so epic. But I also think in the first season, it really was all on Cole, and those were probably some of the most taxing episodes that I shot. And then in season 2, it really does start to become an ensemble, and you introduce these new characters and you develop other characters further. So it became a shared effort, and that did take some of the weight off me. And I prefer that, and that's the kind of story I like. I prefer anyway. I really enjoy stories that aren't necessarily so focused on one archetype elevated hero character. I want to see what's going on in everybody's life.
Are we going to see new characters in the final season?
Yes, you will see new characters. It's tough, man. It's all a blur right now because we basically shot season 3 and season 4 together. But there are new interesting ones that pop up, and they develop the old ones even further and turn them into things that you would never imagine.
If you were cast in another sci-fi show or another time travel show, would you say, "Yep, sign me up," or "Oh hell no, you can't do anything better than what I just did"?
I'd love to do it again. It would just be a matter of making sure it's not a repeat. I'd want a show that did something completely new. Although I would do another Gilliam-based show. I would love to do a TV show version of Time Bandits. You sign me up for that.